My name's Brenda Zechmeister, and I'm trying something different today for recording. So I'm hoping it works. I'm trying to get more of my the length of my body into the camera. So we shall see if this works. So anyway, again, my name is Brenda Zechmeister, and I'm a yoga instructor with Let's Get Physical in Price Hill. And today I had a request for focusing on the hips. And if you have any other requests, feel free to either post it in the Let's Get Physical page or send me a private message. And let me know which class you will be attending, and I will try to incorporate that into the class. So let's go ahead and get started just by finding yourself in an easy pose, which can be either like this, or if your hips or knees are stiff, you can just bring your soles of your feet together and just sit like so. So go ahead and close your eyes and sit up tall and focus on your breath for the moment. Slowing your breath down to 3 or 4 counts. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. And as you breathe, begin to feel your body relax. Let go of your day and just feel any stress, any worries, gently sliding off of your body onto the ground and away from your body. And as you relax, find a word or a phrase that you can use throughout your practice that will be your intention, your mantra. It can be as simple as relax, be still, let go. And as we go throughout the practice, I'll try to remember to remind you to focus on that mantra. This will help keep your mind from wandering onto other things and bring you fully present into your practice, connecting your mind, your body, your breath, bringing it all together. So from here, let's bring the fingertips down to the floor on either side of your hips. And as you sit up tall, bring your chin down to your chest and relax through the back of your neck. Let go of any tightness in the shoulders and your upper back. On your next breath, go ahead and bring your head down to one shoulder. Try not to bring your shoulders up to your ears, but just relax them. And then as you exhale, bring your chin back to your chest, and then roll the head over to the other side. Again, keeping your shoulders relaxed, away from your ears. Exhaling, we bring it back to center. And then bring your hands in front of you and interlace the fingers and turn the palms outward. From here, just round your back, keeping your chin tucked in, and stretch those arms away from your body. And take a few deep breaths here so that you expand into that space in between the shoulder blades. And then as you breathe in, begin to bring the arms up overhead straightening your spine, and turn the palms so that they're now facing the top of your head. Bring your pointer fingers out, reaching up taller, and as you exhale, lean to one side. And try to keep your sit bones connected to the floor, breathing into that side of the body. And then as you inhale, bring it back to center. And then exhaling, lean to the other side. Inhale, bring it back to center. And then exhaling, release your arms back down. So today we're going to use a couple of different props. So if you have a yoga strap or a belt, go ahead and grab that. And if you have a block or a book, you can use those as well. And so we're going to start out beginning to loosen up through the hips. So let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together and place your hands on your ankles and just let your knees flutter out to either side and just feel loosening through the hip joint there. And then let it relax. And then we're going to bring one foot in as close as you can and bring the other leg straight out. And we're going to lean onto this block. And if you don't have a block, you can just press down through the palm of your hand. Just being very mindful of your wrist. You want to focus on pressing down through the palm of your hand right below the fingers there so that you're strengthening through your arms. Otherwise, a nice way to release any tension on the wrist is to just lean onto your forearm. And so we're going to situate ourselves here so that our body is pretty much into alignment. So we want to bring the upper part of your body into the same plane as your leg. And the leg is stretched out, and you're not going to be able to see my foot here, unfortunately, but you just want to point the toes and pressing down into the block. Take your other arm and just bring it up over your head and stretch it out and feel a nice stretch through the hip area, all through along the top side of your body. Taking a few breaths here. And then as you exhale, we're going to bend the arm and bend the leg and then reach for that ankle. And we're going to bring the heel back by your sit bone. And if you can't reach it, you can just try to bring that heel back as far as you can. What we want to do is begin to open up through the hip by just kind of bringing that heel back. Get a nice stretch through the quads, and then kind of thrust your chest out a little bit. We're loosening up through the hip flexor in the front there. Just a little bit. And then as you exhale, bring that knee back in and push yourself up. And let's go to the other side. I'm going to move my props out of the way here. So either leaning onto the block or onto your hand, bringing that other leg in, stretching the other one out. Taking the opposite arm, palm face up, stretch it up over your head. And point your toes and really lengthen through the body. You want to make yourself as long as you can here. Breathing into the stretch. Try to kind of bring those hips forward, especially that upper hip. Breathing into it. And then as you breathe out, bending your arm and leg, reach for your ankle and gently pull that heel back by your sit bone. Kind of bring the chest out, maybe tilt the head back slightly. Feeling that stretch in your quads. Taking one more breath. And then as you exhale, bring that knee back in and push yourself back up. We're going to just put the block out of the way for the time being. From here, bring your feet right in front of your body, and we're going to lean back on the hands and just be comfortable here. And we're just going to sway the knees side to side. And so you might start out with just a little gentle swaying side to side, and then as your hips loosen up, maybe go ahead and bring them all the way down to the floor, and then do the same thing on the other side. Going side to side. We begin to feel a little loosening up through the hips. Let's do an equal amount on both sides. And once you've done that, go ahead and bring everything back to the center. And then we're going to do another little stretch here, just by bringing the soles of the feet together. Clasp your hands, put them on top of your toes, and just lean forward. Keep your spine nice and straight so that you're feeling that on the inner thighs. Relax through your hips into your glutes. Breathing, remember your intention. And as you begin to relax through those areas, maybe you can bring the body back forward just a little bit more. And then on your next breath, go ahead and bring yourself back up. You can either keep your feet like so, or go ahead and recross your legs in the other direction. We're going to place the hands on the knees. Take a breath here. Exhale, hinge forward. And relax here for a moment. Relaxing through the back of your neck into your shoulders and your upper back. And then begin to feel that loosening all the way down your back into your lower back and your hips and your glutes. We're going to make some circles here. So on an inhale, begin to make a half circle coming around to the back. And once you've reached the back, exhale to complete your circle. Finding your own rhythm here. You might start out with little circles, and then as you loosen up, the circles get bigger. Let's go around one more time. And when you've gotten back to the point where you started, just pause there for a moment, relaxing into your forward bend here. And then we're going to make circles going in the other direction. So inhale, go around halfway. Exhale, complete the circle. Connecting the movement with the breath. Let's go around one more time. Coming back to the center. Go ahead and bring yourself back up. And let's come on to our hands and knees. We're going to do our cows and our tats. So bring your hands so that your wrists are shoulder distance apart. And again, pressing down to the pads of the hands right below the knuckles there. The knees should be below the hips, hip width apart. We're in this tabletop, and as you breathe in, just relax your belly and look up, relaxing through your lower back. And then as you exhale, curl the tailbone under and arch your back, looking towards the navel into cat. And then alternate here, breathing into your cow and breathing out to cat. Draw that navel in towards the spine. That gives you a nice kind of strengthening through your core. You want to get a little bit of extra core in there. Again, we're just finding our own rhythm here, connecting with our own breath. Let's do two more. once you've finished your cat, bring it back into tabletop. From here, curl your toes under, and as you breathe in, bring your hips up and bring your head in between the elbows. And we're going to walk our dog here. Bend one knee and then the other, stretching through the back of your leg. Again, we're pressing down through the pads of the hands beneath the knuckles, nice strong arms, strengthening through our upper back. And let's maybe shift our hips side to side, since our focus today is on our hips. You know, everything loosening up. And then bring it into stillness. Come up on your toes, stretch it out, and then bring those heels as close to the ground as you can. From here, we're just going to bring the knees down to the floor. Bring your tops of your feet to the tops of your feet to the floor, and then sink your sit bones back as far as you can towards those heels. We're going to bring the tummy down on top of the thighs and stretch the arms out. And bring your forehead down to the floor. And relax. Feel your body relaxing with each breath. Breathing into your mantra, letting go of your day. Maybe scan your body, notice where you're holding tightness. And just send the breath there to let it go. I'll take a couple more breaths here. And then as you inhale, go ahead and bring yourself back up into tabletop. Curl the toes under. Inhale, hips up, downward facing dog. And really stretch it out here. Feel your strength in your arms. And then looking between your hands, you can either hop forward or walk the feet forward. Now we're just going to come into a forward bend here, letting the top of the head come towards the floor, shaking out your head, yes and no. Bring it into stillness. Put a little bend into the knees. Draw the navel in towards your spine and gently roll up. Keep your chin tucked in until you're all the way up. From here, go ahead and stand in your mountain pose. Bringing your soles, the insides of your feet together. Soles of the feet are connected to the floor. Feel that connection between your big toe and your baby toe, the back two corners of your heel. Feel everything perfectly balanced, right and left, front and back of the feet. And then imagine that there's an energy from the ground that's coming up through the bottoms of your feet into your legs. Feel that strength coming all the way up your legs, up your spine. Relax through your hips, relax your shoulders, and that energy continues to come up through your body, lengthening through your neck, coming all the way out through the top of your head. Breathe into your mantra. From here, let's go ahead and step to the top of our mats. We're just going to do some gentle flows here, and we're going to try to have our focus be all around the hip areas, from the hip flexors in the front to our hips on the sides. So bring your hands at your sides, and as you breathe in, go ahead and bring your arms up. And then exhale, kind of swan dive, bringing the fingertips down towards the floor. inhale, come up slightly, placing your hands on your shins. And then as you breathe out, put a little bend into the knees and place your hands flat on the floor. On your next inhale, bring your left leg straight back. And then exhale, go ahead and drop that knee down to the ground. So from here, we're just going to bring our hands on the insides of the right foot and lean your right leg against your right arm. And as you breathe in, bring the left hand up. And then exhale, bring it back down. On your next breath, bring the right arm up. And exhale, bring it back down. Again, on the inside of your leg there. And then from here, see if you can't walk your hands out a little bit, bringing yourself down onto your forearms. And you can use your block. I'm going to grab my block here. What you're going to do is just place your block right here, and you can bring your forearms down onto the block. And so we're trying to keep the knee from coming out, but instead hug that knee in towards the shoulder. Breathe here. Breathe into all around the hip area, all around the inside of your thigh. Just letting go. And then from here, we're going to, again, let's move the block out of the way. Place your hands on the floor and bring your hips back. We're straightening through that leg. Going to feel a nice stretch through the hamstrings. Take a few breaths here. And then on your next breath, go ahead and bring yourself back up. Place your right hand on the outside of your right foot. Curl the toes under, and as you inhale, bring that foot forward. Hands on your shins, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, bend the knees, place your hands on the ground again. This time we're going to bring the right leg back. Exhaling, drop down to that right knee. Let's bring the left hand on the inside of your leg there. And as you notice, this knee is right over my ankle here to start out. We're leaning the leg against the arm and the arm against the leg so that they're supporting one another. And as you breathe in, bring your right arm up. And then exhale, go ahead and bring it back down. On your next breath, bring the left arm up. And then exhale, bring it back down. From here, we're going to walk the hands forward again and come down onto your forearms. Again, hugging that knee in close to your shoulder. And just breathe here. Remember your mantra, letting go of any tightness through the hip. And then on your next inhale, come back up onto your hands, bringing them back where they were. Bring your left hand on the outside of your left foot, and we're going to gently rock back, straightening through that left leg. And if you can, bring your forehead down towards your knee. Going to feel stretch through the hamstrings. Let that breath help you get deeper into the pose. On your next inhale, bring yourself back to our original position. Curl the toes under. As you inhale, bring that foot forward. Exhale, relaxing here. Let's inhale the arms up. Bring the palms together, and as you exhale, bring them down to your heart center. And just breathe into this posture, into your mountain pose, noticing any sensations in the body. And then go ahead and relax your hands down. If you have that block, we're going to bring the block and place it right in between, like kind of centered in our body. And the block can be flat like so, it can be up on its side, or it can be vertically. So depending on how flexible you are feeling in your hips. From here, go ahead and bring your feet as wide as you can. And we want to have the toes facing forward in the same direction as the hip bones. And the wider that your legs are, the easier this pose is going to be because we want to place our hands onto the ground. So I don't think my block is centered there. There we go. So we're going to place our hands on the hips. From here, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, just hinge from your hips. We want to keep a straight spine. And once your torso is parallel to the floor, you can go ahead and bring your hands onto the block. If you feel loose enough, you can put the block to the side and just place your hands on the ground. So whatever is working for you here. From here, let's bend into the left knee and turn those toes outward slightly and walk the hands over towards that foot. And let's go ahead and bring that arm again into that thigh. Stretching there. And then walk the hands back to center, turn the toes forward again. And we'll walk the hands over to the other side, turning those toes out slightly, bending into that knee. And then go ahead and walk the hands back to center, turn the toes forward. From here, place your one hand directly beneath your face. And again, remember when I had said about pressing down into the palm of your hand right beneath the knuckles there, so that you're strengthening through your arm. So notice the difference here between just letting my body kind of sag into that, and then when I push in, I'm like activating all the muscles here in my arm. From here, we're just going to keep the hips level. So if you want, you can place your hand on your hips just to make sure that you don't torque at all. Turn and look over that opposite shoulder from your hand. And then from there, you can bring your arms straight up. And so you want to feel like you have a nice straight line between the floor, reaching up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, go ahead and bring that hand down and place it directly beneath your face where the other one was. Lifting up out of your wrist, place the opposite hand on your hips, keeping them level, look over the other shoulder. And then raise that arm up. Breathing here. And then as you exhale, bring that hand back to the floor. Now we're evenly spacing our hands here. You want to bend your elbows and bend the elbows towards your body. Not out like that, but just in towards your body. And let the top of your head come towards the floor. Or it can come to the block. If you would like to put your head on top of the block, you can do that. And so while you're here, you just want to relax through your hips. And this should feel really good. Take one more breath. And then as you inhale, go ahead and bring your head up off of the block, straighten your arms. Let your head dangle here. We'll just take this opportunity to release any tightness through the neck and shoulders. So shake your head out
No, shake it, yes. And just alternate, loosening up any tightness there. Let gravity help you out. And then bring it into stillness. Pressing down through the hands, begin to bring your torso so that it's now parallel to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips and nice and easy. Come back up. And let's kind of bring our feet in, doing a little Charleston there. Put the block to the side. And let's once again, I'll do this from the other direction. We'll do a little flow here, and we're going to do a pigeon pose. And so I'm going to show you two variations of the pigeon pose. So I'll start with the kind of upward facing pigeon pose. And if you're feeling tight through your hips, again, you might have your block be handy here. And I'll show you what to do with that in a moment. So we're starting out in our mountain. And as you inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, do a little forward bend, lightly touching the floor. Inhale, come up slightly, hands on your shins. And then as you exhale, bend your knees and place your hands flat on the floor. On your next inhale, bring your legs back and come into downward facing dog. So just hanging out here for a moment, really stretch through the backs of your legs. And on an inhale, raise your left leg straight up. Exhale, bend at the knee. On your next inhale, rotate your hip out, looking underneath your left arm. You're going to feel like a dog at a fire hydrant here. And then exhale, bring it back to face the floor. On your next breath, bring that knee forward and then turn your foot outwards to the right side of your mat and collapse your legs down onto the floor. And I just slide or walk that right leg back. You want to have your left leg, as much as possible, that shin is parallel to the top of the mat as possible. Mine isn't as much either, and yours might be tight as well, and that's okay. We just kind of go with where we are for the time being. And in this pose, you can stay up like this. Wherever you are, you want to make sure that your hips remain level. You don't want to slide to the left. A lot of people have a tendency to slide to the one side. So just make sure your hip bones are always equally facing the floor. And then as you relax into this pose, you can come down onto your forearms. This is where you can use your block, placing it right below your forehead and letting your forehead rest on your block. Or if you're feeling really flexible, you can make a pillow with your arms and bring your forehead to rest onto your arms. So those are the three positions there. So an alternative to this, so just breathe here, those who are in this pose. If this isn't feeling comfortable, I'm going to show you an alternative. And this is called reclining pigeon. You're going to lay down on your back and have your right foot on the ground and your left ankle right below your right knee, resting on your thigh. And then take your left hand, put it on the inside of your left thigh, and just gently push it away from the body. If this feels good and this is where you want to stay today, that is fine. If you want to go into your reclining pigeon, all you need to do is bring that right foot off the ground, bringing the legs in closer to the body. And then from here, take that left hand, thread it through the opening between the legs, and reach behind your right thigh for your right hand, and interlace the fingers and just kind of hug your legs in here. So go ahead, wherever you are, We're just continuing to breathe. We'll take a few more breaths here. Remember that mantra that you started out with. If you're in the upright pigeon pose, go ahead and gently begin to make your way out of it by coming up onto your forearms and then onto your hands and then curling those toes under. We'll just push up, coming up into downward facing dog. And if you're in from your downward dog, you can walk it out, you can stretch it out, whatever feels good. And if you're in your reclining pigeon, you can go ahead and just release everything, bringing both feet down to the ground, and then swaying your hips side or your thighs side to side, kind of windshield wiping your thighs. So I'm going to bring the upright pigeon pose first into position. If you already know the reclining one, go ahead and bring yourself into that. So for those of us in the first position, we're going to, from downward dog, bring our right leg up. Exhale, bend at the knee. On your next breath, rotate that hip, look underneath your arm. And then exhale, bring the hips to face the floor again. On your next breath, bring the knee forward. And then turn the foot to the left side of the mat. Exhaling, bringing those legs down on the mat. On your next breath, just slide that left leg back. And then work your way into wherever you were on the other side. Your toes can remain curled under here, or you can bring the tops of your foot, the top of your left foot to the mat. Remember to have your hips level. And if you're laying down and you need some cueing here, we bring that right ankle to rest on the left thigh, right below the knee. Right hand goes on the inside of the thigh, gently kind of moving that hip away, opening it up. And then you can either stay here or bring that left foot off the floor, thread your right arm through the opening, and clasp your left hand behind your leg. Wherever you are, you're still getting all the benefits of a nice hip opener there. So really breathe into that hip. You might have to remind yourself from time to time to really relax there. Sometimes when we're in a pose that isn't particularly easy, you might kind of tense up, and we just want to relax. Maybe notice if anything is coming up. A lot of times we store emotions into those parts of the body. Let's take a few more breaths here. Remember your mantra. Those of you in the first pigeon pose, go ahead and begin to nice and easy bring yourself up onto your forearms and then onto your hands, and then curling the toes under that left foot. We're going to push down with our hands, lifting the body up, coming into downward facing dog again, walking it out. If you're lying on your back, you can go ahead and release. Bring both feet to the ground and sway your knees side to side. You're in downward facing dog. Stretch it out, bringing everything into stillness. And then exhale, go ahead and bring your knees to the ground and bring yourself into a seated position. Let's stretch out those legs. If you were in the reclining pigeon, go ahead and gently push yourself up, coming back up into a seated position. From here, placing your hands on either side of your hips. Just point the toes up towards the ceiling, sitting up nice and tall. Just turn the palms upward. Inhale them up. We want to keep a nice straight back as you exhale, hinge forward. And we're not going very far. We just want to relax through the hips. Feel a nice stretch through the hamstrings. And then as you inhale, bring your body back up. Exhale, go ahead and bring your hands down on the floor. Coming back to our staff pose. So let's see how much time we have. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet in. Let's bring them in closer this time, as close as you can. Clasp your hands over your toes and flutter those knees. We're relaxing them, the hip flexors, letting go of any tightness. And bring it into stillness. Let's bring the right foot in as close as you can. And bring the left foot. We're going to take the right hand, place it on the bottom of that left foot, and bring it in close to the body. And so you can either stay here if you feel flexible enough through the hips. You can wrap your arm around your foot, putting that foot into the crook of your arm. See if I can get it up a little bit higher there so that the arch of the foot is kind of resting in the crook of my arm. And I'm hugging that leg in, just holding it like a little baby. And then gently rock it. Let go of any tightness that you might be feeling in your hips. And then bring it into stillness. Just breathe. As you loosen up, maybe you can hug that leg in a little bit closer. And then gently release. We're going to bring that foot, if you can, on top of the thigh. Bringing it in, just tuck it in as much as you can. If that doesn't feel comfortable, go ahead and just bring it to the floor in a regular cross-legged position. So bringing the leg up into the arm and rocking side to side, it's meant to kind of open up the hips a little bit more for, this is half lotus position. And my knee is a little bit higher here. I saw Dr. Brenda online. I think I'm going to need an adjustment. He's my chiropractor. And so I'm a little bit tight on this side. And oftentimes one side of the body is tighter than the other. So we just want to be in this pose in our half lotus, sitting up as tall as you can. Relaxing through your hips. This is a nice pose to sit in if you're meditating. Maybe just close your eyes for a moment, a little mini meditation, tuning into your breath, your mantra. Taking one more breath. And as you exhale that breath, take your hands to help bring that foot out. Let's stretch out the legs, kind of wiggle them around, letting go of any tightness. And then bring it into stillness. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet together again, and as close as you can, hands clasped over your toes. Flutter those knees. Our butterfly. Let them relax. This time we're going to bring, let's see, the right foot in. I think I kind of
forget which one I did. Isn't that funny? No, I think it was the left. I need to bring the left foot in. Yeah, there we go. Left foot in. So the opposite one that you did before. And then we're going to pick up the other leg and either holding that foot in your hand or bringing the arch of the foot into the crook of your arm, bringing it as close to the body as you can. And so hugging that in, and then gently rock. Feel that whole area all around here gently loosening up a little bit. And then bring it into stillness. And breathe. See if you can hug it in, maybe a little bit closer. Just relax that leg, relax through your hip. I'll take one more breath. And then as you exhale, gently release. We're going to put that foot again on the inside of that thigh. And see, this knee is lower down than the other. I was on the other side. So both sides of my body are not equal. And that may be true for you. Maybe not. Hopefully not. And let's just relax here, taking our little mini medi. Breathing into your intention, relaxing your body. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, bring your leg out, stretch it out, bring the other one out. And let's see, we can either do this one again, or if you wish, we can do the windshield wiper one again. So whichever one is feeling good to you. Bring those knees all the way down to the ground with each movement. Kind of rotating through your hips. And then once you feel complete, let's bring it back to the center and come down onto the back. So we're not going to have time to use the strap tonight. We can save that for another time. So coming down onto your back, bring your knees in towards your chest and just hug them in. Let the hips relax fully as you hug those legs in, hugging those knees in. Let go of any tightness that might be remaining in the hips. Relax your shoulders. And let's rock a little side to side. Gently massaging your back. Go ahead and bring it back to center. Place your hands on your knees and then push those knees away from the body. Your arms are straight. And we're going to make circles with the knees. They can be big circles or little circles. You decide what feels good to you. What is your body needing? We're kind of massaging through the lower back, all around the backs of the hips. So just kind of experiment, seeing what feels good. Maybe you start out small and get bigger gradually. And then once you feel complete going in one direction, just pause for a moment and then go in the other direction. And then once you feel complete there, go ahead and bring those knees back in, close to the body, as close as you can. From here, bring your arms out into a T, and as you exhale, keep both shoulders on the ground, lower your knees to the one side. So if the knees are to the right, you could take your right hand and put it on top of your right thigh, or your left thigh, that is. If your knees are over to the left, take your left hand and put it on top of your right
side. And then if you want to get an extra twist here, look over in the opposite direction of your knees. And you can either keep your hand on your thigh or bring that arm back out so that your arms are in a T. And so just gently release any tightness in the hips that might be remaining. Use your breath, use your mantra. Relax and let go. Let's take one more breath here. And then on your next breath, bring everything back to the center. And then lower your knees to the other side. If you had your hand on your thigh, do the same thing here. This kind of helps to hold the knees in place. If you wish to look over in the other direction, getting your twist in, that feels good. Or you can keep your arms out in the T. Gently wringing out on this side. Releasing and letting go. Let's take one more breath. And then on your next breath, bring your knees back in. If you need to rock a little side to side, you can do that. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and bring those feet to the floor and stretch it out. We're going to bring the arms overhead, stretching out your fingers, stretch out your toes. Breathe into your stretch, making yourself as long as you can. And as you exhale, just sigh it all out. And let's do that one or two more times. Breathing in, stretching it out, and sigh it out. If you want to do it one more time, go ahead and do one more stretch. And then whenever you're ready for your Savasana, just bring your arms down at your sides, palms face up. Begin to settle onto the floor, making yourself as comfortable as possible. And so I'm just going to bring myself to a seated pose as you remain lying down. I want to talk you through relaxing. So starting with your feet, just let your feet relax out to either side. Relaxing all through the feet, through the toes, the bottoms of the feet, the tops of the feet, the heels. Letting your ankles soften as you bring that relaxation into your lower legs. Let go of any tightness in your calves and in your shins, and soften through your knees. Relax your quads, your hamstrings, relaxing all the way up into your hips. Just feel your hips sinking a little bit deeper into the earth. Did a lot with the hips today. So just allow everything to soften there around your glutes, coming around to the top parts of the hips, melting that space in between the hip bones. Feel your whole body sinking a little bit deeper into the floor. Relaxing all the muscles in your back, from your lower back into your upper back, into your shoulders. Let go of any tightness, any tension, and relax fully all the way down your arms, all the way down and out through your hands, fingers, and thumbs.
Soften through your belly, relaxing all of your organs. Let go of any tightness across the chest. And just allow the collarbones to open up a little bit more. Opening up through your throat, relax your neck, your jaw, and soften all the muscles in your face, around your mouth, in your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead, and your scalp. We'll take a few moments here, relaxing in the silence. Gently bring your awareness back into this space. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Maybe rotate your feet around in circles. Rotate your hands in circles. And then taking your time, bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug, and gently rock side to side, gradually bringing yourself to rest on your right side. And just take another moment to relax there, so make yourself comfortable and bring awareness into those parts of the body that feel maybe a little bit more open. We just celebrated Easter yesterday, a lot of people. It's all about resurrection and new life. So let's bring awareness of the new life that's flowing through us. Having released and let go of any tightness, any tension in the body, that energy's freer to move a little bit better through the body. Breathing into that. And then again, taking your time, use your hands to gently bring yourself up, coming back to the seated position that we started out with. And let's close our session by chanting one Om together, connecting with that vibration that's all around us and connecting virtually to one another. If you like, you can bring your forefingers and your thumbs together. You're going to sit up tall, close your eyes, and just let go of the breath that you're on. Take a cleansing breath in through your nose and breathe out through the mouth. And take another deep breath to Om. And as our Oms fade away, go ahead and bring the palms together to your heart center.
recalling once more the intention that you started out with. Breathe it throughout your whole body, making it a part of who you are. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for taking advantage of this time that we have together. We thank Price Hill Will for offering these classes for free. If you would like to support Price Hill Will and Let's Get Physical, there is a link in the description of this video, so you can click there and make a donation. We really appreciate it. Again, my name is Brenda Zachmeister, and I will be teaching another class tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock, same place. Until then, namaste.